Oh yeah. Oh yeah, we're ready to go. Let's start it right,
Like,
shall we?
let's do it.
With Wise at Hefe, I'm Cole Johnson. Here we go. On your mark, get set. Let's go.
I can't do it. We'll do it live. Do it live! I'll write it and we'll do it live!
Mister, will you please wake up?
Montana looking, throwing in the end zone. Caught it! Right.
Palmero over the head of Jenks. Uribe charges, throws, out! And the White Sox have won the World Series.
And that'll do it. It's over. The Golden State Warriors return to a familiar place. They're on top of the NBA world.
We're down to 2, now to 1. Here's Jordan. Yes! It is all over. The Chicago Bulls.
This is Snowman in the Morning.
Hey, this promises to be fun.
Oh, yeah!
Gonna be fun. Good morning, everybody. Welcome to a Thursday edition of Snowman in the Morning with Cole Johnson. I am one half of that duo, Cole Johnson. The other half, that is not Mr. Brian Snow. It is Mr. Wise El Jefe. How you doing, man?
I'm great, brother. I'm doing great. Great things are happening, man. Things are happening in my life that is exciting, brother. It's exciting, and you play a big part of that. I appreciate that, brother.
Oh man, well, dude. I mean, seeing how things are growing with you, man, this is awesome. It's awesome, man. Seeing Poppy J and Wise take off, and now seeing Stuck in My Mind shifting into yet another level. Yeah, yeah.
It has switched to where it's great, man. The guests I'm having some great guests on. The audience participation, the people stopping in and chatting, and it's like, all right, this is what I want. This is what I want to continue to do, and it's opening so many opportunities for me, man.
That's awesome. I'm glad to hear that. I really am. I really am glad to hear that. And very few are as deserving as you in seeing all that, because you've worked hard. And
Bro,
I mean,
it's just the beginning. It's like, I'm not even. It's like this is just, to me. Is you put in the work, and it's written in the books already. But you have to come out and do it.
yeah.
You just it's written, and this is just the beginning. So I'm still like,
Yeah.
it's still hustle. It's still time to grind. It's still time to, like, I'm not done. There's so many other things, man. Me and you definitely gotta. We've discussed it, and I feel we can do it. I feel we can do our thing also. So
Yeah.
listen, I'm excited, brother. We can do. We got some. We're connected to some great people. The people
Yeah,
in the
we are.
chat. The fact that we have Brian still grinding, doing his thing. Just seeing Brian do his thing,
Yeah.
as it should push you. Like, this man battled cancer. What's wrong with me? Like,
Right.
he grinding.
Yeah. The heart that he has is ridiculous.
So that just, bro, is and then you just a mad genius, man, bro. Bro, is I've learned so much from you in the little bit of time we've known each other, and but like, again, we always say it feels like we've known each other for years, though.
Yeah.
Me and you have sat down and had some great conversations, and like, I'm talking about 2-3 hour chats, people.
Right.
Like, this is conversations that me and you, and it has nothing. It just does. It has. The thing is, it involves life.
Yeah.
So the conversations we have is yes, we talk about our shows and all that, but we also talk about life and everything that goes on with all that. And I love it, bro. I'm attracting the people that I need to attract into my life, and I'm receiving blessings, brother. I'm receiving blessings from people that are. I got to share this because you know Alex.
Yes.
So I got the pleasure to meet Alex earlier this year at Podfest, and we've built a relationship and all that. And Podfest is coming up in January, and I hadn't purchased my ticket. I'm saying waiting and whatever. Alex shoots me a message, and I gotta share this because this is a blessing. He says, "Yo, did you get your tickets for Podfest yet?" I'm like, "Nah, not yet. I'm gonna get it." He says, "Yo, how many you need?" He says, "Cause I got you." And,
Wow.
and that to me is the blessings. Those are the like everybody think, oh, you need to get monetized. Is those blessings right there that show you you're doing the right work. You're doing the things you're supposed to do. And I'm sorry, I don't want to get preachy today, people. Let's go. Let's start. But I just wanted to share that story, man. It's just I'm being blessed all over.
Yeah.
And it's not coming in the form of money, it's coming in form of people showing their support and their love and their energy that's helping up boost me up.
Yeah.
Big shout out to Ben. Ben is always coming through.
Oh,
Ben
Ben is awesome.
Ben has been blessing me since we got to know each other. To be able to be on the BS3 network with 2 shows, bro, I'm blessed. I'm blessed.
Yeah.
And it's
Yeah.
only going to get bigger than this because that's what it's meant to be. It's written, man. It is written. And
Oh,
but
yeah.
if I don't take the action,
Yeah. Yeah. You just scratch the surface, man. And
bro,
I totally agree with you. Yeah. This is only the beginning, man. Only the beginning. And more people need to see the goodness of you, man. Seriously. It's not even a question.
it's not even just the goodness of me, man. It's the goodness of everyone we associate with. Everyone we
Oh, yeah.
deal with are nothing but positive, productive people. Everybody in the chat has their shows, have successful
Yeah.
shows. Shady Sports are doing some amazing things.
Yeah. So many.
Shady Sports just did cover the XFL draft. That's just the beginning for Shady Sports.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
That's just the beginning. McCarthy's doing his thing. You got Hawk TV has a great program.
Right.
There are some gifted and talented people on it. Rod, as much as Rod is a troll, and I love you, Rod.
Yeah. And good morning to you, Rod.
My bro got a good show. I've been on his show. And at the same time, some of our people go and troll him on his show. That's what you're supposed to be. It's nothing but love. But he comes and he's here, he chats, he interacts. And that's what you want from the people.
Yeah, he shows love. Yeah. Yeah. Well, later on this hour, we'll be joined by Chris Dietz.
Another great brother. Yeah.
Another one. Yeah. He already in the chat says good morning. Who's ready to get totally Dietz today? And yeah, we will definitely do that in the bottom of this hour. Axe in hand. A Pizzle. He says, good morning. Another one of the great supporters.
Oh, listen, A Pizzle. I'm still waiting for the picture, A Pizzle. Put it up. I haven't seen it yet.
Yeah. Not just a snowman in the morning, but with Cole Sports, with Revelations, with Stuck in My Mind. I mean,
he's everywhere. Appreciate the support, brother.
Totally.
It's everybody. Like I get Sick comes through.
Yes,
Sick. Everybody. Well. Everybody comes. Hawk TV comes through. Rod shows up.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's how you build a community. That's community right there, man.
Yeah. And not only just a community of individuals, but community of quality people.
Yes.
And of course, Hawk TV, you definitely are in that throng, brother. Good morning to you. He says Snowman may know this about himself, but he is a living testament. And he may not know about that about himself. He probably does, but it's always good to say it. And it's always good to say it to him. And I try to say it to him as often as I possibly can. Incredible, invaluable blessings, man. Look, I think I can speak for Wise in this regard. All of you are invaluable blessings to me, just personally to me.
Like I said, this is what they are the reason I do my show live, and I say it every episode. This audience, this chat audience right here, this participation here is why I do my show live.
Yeah,
because these guys are amazing. A Latina when she comes through.
Yeah,
there's so many people that, and I've seen the show grow. I've seen this show grow.
Yeah,
from where we was just single digits regularly, and then we started hitting double digits.
Yeah. And the beauty of it is, and this is the lesson I had to learn. I mean, I could create wonderful things. Thank you, Lord, for that. But the chat is you all are so creative yourselves.
Oh, hell yeah. Ryan McCarthy's come up with a few of this stuff. Yeah.
Yeah. Many of the creations I come up with, it's because of you all. I mean, yesterday I came up with a commercial because of Sick. Penis 15 Water, that's Ryan. The city, Victor created a church and didn't have a name for it until he comes up with one. I mean, this is how the brilliance of the chat is.
But it shows, see, and that's where we differ from everybody else, because we hear what the ideas they want to share and the segments they create.
Yeah, whole facts again,
and we implement those things into the show.
Yeah, because they're part of the show. They're part of us. So
of course,
why could we not do that? It would be arrogant of us to say, yeah, okay, yeah, they have their thing. That's their thing. We do our thing. No, we're family. We're family.
Oh, bro. Yeah.
And if it takes what we do here to another level because of what they create, okay, let's do it. Let's go. Because it's some brilliant stuff. All of you, brilliant stuff. I agree with you. A pistol on when it up, but that's with all of us. Mr. No Credentials Required. He always joins us every Monday morning at 8:35 a.m. Eastern. He says, "Good morning, gentlemen, and good morning to everyone
Great
watching."
Show the other day, Ryan. I enjoyed it.
He says that his New Jersey Devils are going, and talking about NHL, they're going for number 11 in a row tonight. And
yes,
I hope the Devils do get their 11th of the season, 11th in a row.
I support all I support. I love the Devils as well. I'm a Rangers fan, but I support any New York team that does well, man. I don't hate the Mets. I root for the Mets except when they play my Yankees. I root for the Jets except for when they play my Giants.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's understandable.
I root for the Islanders and the Devils except for when they play my Rangers.
Yeah,
that's Buffalo and Buffalo. Either way, New York sports. I love New York sports, man.
Yeah,
I bleed my New York sports.
Yeah, see, with me, I was born in New Orleans and I was raised in Houston. So then I went to Saints games when I was in grammar school. So I'm a Saints fan too. But whenever they played, because I lived in Houston, whenever they played the Oilers, then later the Texans, I rooted for the Oilers or Texans whenever the Saints played them.
Yeah.
But I never hated on the Saints. It's just
the only team I won't root for is the Boston Red Sox. That's the only team I won't root for.
I think there would be a situation where you would root for him.
No. There's no way. No.
Like if a team like the Astros, were playing them, and the Yankees would have home field throughout. If the Astros lose,
listen, I would not.
And the Astros are playing them in Fenway.
You know why? I don't have a hatred for the Astros. I just know they have they just have our number, and
yeah,
I love Altuve. I was a Bagwell fan. I was a Biggio fan.
Mm-hmm.
I'm a baseball fan.
Yeah,
I love my Yankees, but there's teams that I enjoyed watching over the years. But there's just certain teams I won't watch. I won't watch a Red Sox team. Because it's just disrespectful.
I'm similar to you. I don't really have a hatred for the Yankees. It's fun to watch, and actually I like a lot of the Yankees that come through. But yeah, I'm just saying if ever there was a situation where the Yankees could have home field, and
we if
the AL playoffs,
if it went to a certain situation like how Boston did us in 2003. Or was it 2004? Whatever the year it was. I don't even.
You talking about when they went up 3? When the Yankees went up 3-0 on them? Yeah, that's 2004.
Yeah, so I blocked that out. I blocked that. So I'm forgetting those dates. Those dates I don't remember. So
03 is Aaron
Boone's home run. Yes. 04. Yeah. Okay. So I just block them out. But anyway. But nah, man. I don't. Plus, I was Carlos Correa is Puerto Rican, so I love the Astros for that. Him being when he was there and they won the title. I don't care about all that cheating because everybody was doing it, man. That's why.
Thank you.
Everybody want to get locked up. Oh, he cheated. Everybody does it. Every team tries to find an advantage. Some teams just stupid and get caught.
They'll be caught. And the Astros have to be too stupid to get caught. And an Astros fan here, I have no problem saying that at all. None.
Bro, I don't want to hear. I want to hear anything. Every team cheated.
Yes. The funny thing is that there was a cheat. The Red Sox and the Yankees cheated in a similar way. around that same time period.
If you could find any way to get advantage, they're gonna try to find it,
They're
man.
gonna try to find it.
Man,
Yeah.
please.
Yeah. And thank you for being so responsible in that understanding, because I'm like, people just talk out the side of their neck.
See, Sick. I've been to City Field. I've been to Mets games. I've been. My wife took me to a Mets games knowing that I'm a Yankee fan, and I wore my Yankee jersey.
And morning to you, Sick. Also, another wonderful contributor, not only to this show, but to all
the
of
playmakers,
us.
yeah,
The playmaker.
man. Big
Morning,
shout out,
brother.
playmaker.
I mean, I say it. I say it somewhat in jest. The hardest working man in content creation, but it's like I look up and there's another show he's doing. So there's part of truth to that.
But that's the thing. Everybody. Oh, listen. Cool McCain got like 20 million shows,
Oh
man.
gosh, man, that's another good brother. Ooh, man.
Ryan got like 20 million shows. Everybody's got I do Poppy Jane Wise. I do Playmakers who cool. I do NFC Beast.
So creative. All of you, man.
Bro, so it's like everybody we know are grinders.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody we hang out with, everybody we talk to or chat with, they grind.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so that's that energy. That just pushes you to be like, oh, this dude dropped something. Like with you, when I look at it, I'm like, man, this mother, oh man. he hit me again. He hit me again with a bro, I'm proud to say that I'm your friend, man.
Oh man. Well, the feeling is not 100, 1,000% mutual. Yeah, I'm proud to call you a friend too, man, and one of my close personal ones as well. Sick, good morning to you, brother. I hope everything's good with you. He says the same to Ryan. Mace Taggart, good morning to you, man. I hope everything is good with you. I hope everything is good with you. Many prayers to you as well. Ryan says his coffee choice for today is Snickerdoodle. Oh, okay.
Ryan, you would be proud of what I did today. I made my own little, because I ran out of my creamer, so I took some milk, added a little bit of sugar and some chocolate syrup, and there we go. That was my creamer.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and Six says, I learned as a child there are two don'ts in life. Don't do it and don't get caught. The latter is more costly. Yeah, and it is. It is. But baseball, that's how, dude, I can't tell you how often I have heard the phrase, in baseball, it is this credo, and every team lives by it. If you're not cheating, you're not trying, and it's only cheating if you get caught.
Yep.
And I've heard that for at least the last 30 years.
How many times teams used to scuff balls or do this or do that? Come on, man.
You have one
cork bats.
You have you have a 300 plus game winning pitcher who would throw spitballs. I mean, any advantage. Of course, you had one of the two Negro brothers, they would file their nails so they could grind into the ball and scuff it. I mean, any advantage. Yeah. Any advantage. And of course, it was found out when the nailing file came out when he was on, I think it was Joe, when the nailing file flew out of his pocket when he was on the mound. I mean, any advantage. This is how people in baseball are. And I would love to say that every one of them are choir boys, but we all know they're not.
They're human. Please, there's no perfect human being out there, man. You mess up sometimes. You can't.
Right.
How are you gonna learn life lessons if you don't mess up?
Right.
Oh. But listen,
listen. Obviously, you lived on this earth over 4 decades. I have too. And if we were to say the next mistake we have made in life is the first, we both be lying. Man. Six says, Cole, Wise, y'all gotta understand that being around productive people inspires you to be better. Y'all build off each other and raise each other up. That's teamwork. Yeah. I wish I had a mic to drop. And the thing is, Sick, here's how much truth that is, bro. So Wise and I didn't even know each other like April 3rd of this year.
Yeah.
April 3rd of this year, we did not even know each other's name.
We knew of each other.
We knew of each other.
Because I would come on and you wouldn't be on, but you had already started co-hosting with Snow.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. We knew of each other, but we didn't really know each other.
Yeah.
So the funny thing is when Brian went to have surgery, it was Wise and me. And so I'm trying to bond with someone I never met. And here I am thinking after the first like this exchange here, like the first 20 minutes, I'm like, dang, where's this guy been all my life? I was like, this seems running smooth. I'm like, I'm not having any issues with him. It's like I can throw I can throw whatever sports thing at him, and he just takes it and runs with it. I'm like, he's knowledgeable, he's professional. I'm like, doggone, this is awesome. And come to find out a week later, a week later, that's not the lane that he drives down when it comes to his podcast. I'm like, what?
Not at all. Not at all. And I've been cooking on my podcast lately, man.
And when I saw Stuck in My Mind for the first time, my jaw dropped. And not because I didn't see that in you. It was, this is some quality stuff this brother's doing. I'm like, doggone. I mean, he's flowing in a whole different lane, and he flows smooth in the sports lane. I'm like, wow. My admiration for Wise shot through the roof second week of April. I can honestly say that to you. And and Sick, like I said, you're part of that too, man. It's just the creativity that just flows from every one of you just helps me be better. And seeing what Wise has done makes my creation better. And the wonderful thing about being among all of you, and definitely with Wise, there is no competition, there is no jealousy, there is no backbiting. There's just nothing but love. And whenever we put forth something, the first people to big me up is any one of you.
Yeah.
And I try to return the favor as much as I can with all of you. I mean, whether it's no credentials required or anything Hall TV does, or definitely Poppy J and Wise at Hefe and Stuck in My Mind. And heck, I mean, I'm involved. I'm so involved in those two projects. I created the intros and outros to both of them. Yeah. So, so my fingerprints are on that creation, and it wasn't because I asked for it. He asked me to do it. I'm like, okay, cool, and I was honored. Still am.
Because, bro, like, you got to know what. Listen, that's what networking is for. That's what you build these relationships for. Is if someone is a little bit more gifted than you in a certain field, and they're willing to help you.
Oh yeah,
why not?
I appreciate that.
Bro, and it promotes you. So when people see the dopeness of you, and they're like, "Yo, where you get that intro from?" Oh, that's my man Cole Johnson. Y'all want to hook up? Here you go. I'll link you out. I have no problem linking anybody up. I love making connections. That's what you're supposed to do.
Right. And here's the funny thing about that. So the day before I made,
don't we have to have deets on?
Yeah, we are. I'm gonna bring them in about a couple minutes. But no, but the beautiful part about that is the day before I made the Stuck in My Mind commercial.
Yeah.
I had that mentality in mind. I was like, I was like, how can I extend my reach? How can I actually become invaluable to this community? And all of a sudden it was like, help somebody out. Just help them out. And they'll appreciate it. Who knows how far it'll extend? And Lord have mercy. I did not realize how one commercial could extend into what I'm doing now. I'm like, geez. But yeah, it's just
every BS3 network, every commercial I do on Poppy, J, and Wise is a co-production BS3 network show.
Yeah.
It's now even stuck in my mind because before it was when I ran my Stuck in My Mind, but now it's even stuck in my mind. So, and I promote and I put everybody's show. I have everybody's show on the Poppy J and Wise thing.
Yeah, I do the same thing for whenever I do run Cold Sports, that too. I did the same thing with Relations. I try to run every network show and every partner show that I know too. I try to run every one of them because some cold creators, and it's an honor for me to actually have just a little bit of a hand in saying this is a dope show, and I tried to create as much as I can from how the original creator of whatever show I'm talking about has. I try to do it their flavor.
Yeah.
I don't try to do it my flavor. I try to do theirs, and it's a wonderful, wonderful. Just another example. So to blend in. Oh, let me go to Sick for a sec. He says, Cole, in the words of Charles Faulkner Jr., quote, "Wise is a multifaceted man, like a lot of us are. You can't put anybody in one box." And the one thing about that is, I remember somebody early on, when I was in this game, and I've been in the game now almost 7 years, they asked me, "So you're sports, but what would you like to do?" I said, "I actually like to be, I like to drive many different lanes because I can talk about many different things." And yeah, I can cook in sports. I've been talking sports all my life, but people are talking about me when it comes to Revelations now. It's like, that's the platform for you.
And it was crazy. And it's crazy because somebody said, when I met someone in at Podfest, they had said, and I told them all the things I did on my show. They're like, "You need to niche it down. You need to really bring it down." And I'm like, "But I don't want to do that." To me, it was like, I enjoy this kind of discussing the topics I have on my show.
Yeah.
I didn't really want to niche it down. But even though now I've been focusing more on self-development and having coaches on and all that. But I think that's because I'm driving to go and I'm headed to that lane.
Yeah, I was about to say that's a personal drive,
So
which that's understandable. Yeah.
So yeah, I've been driving to more down that lane. But I make it, the thing is, yeah, they're there to promote their coaching and all this and all that. But I also get them to talk about real life situations and real life energy and just being themselves.
Yeah.
So that's what I strive for, is to actually have my guests come on and seem like they're just regular people.
Right.
Because even with the guy that I had the other day, he started off just trying, but then by the end of the show, he had he just stopped being like he was just to promote and just started being there to have a good conversation.
Yeah.
And so that's what I strive for, is to have those conversations. And I just try to make sure that everyone understands, yeah, you're here to, when someone a guest sends me, "Oh, I need you to ask me these questions," and if I feel like asking them, if it's something I feel like is permanent, yeah, then I might ask the question. But I'll ask whatever question I choose to ask. That's not being arrogant or anything, but
no,
it's not, I know how I want to drive my show.
Exactly. No, it's not you being arrogant at all. I mean, heck, with Revelations, for me, that's the platform for me where it doesn't matter what lane you drive down professionally. I want to tap into the human being that is behind whatever it is that you're promoting, whatever it is you feel as though you are an identity. Because really, it's not you're trying to sell a product. You're not trying to sell an ideal. You're really trying to sell yourself. Now, what's behind that, that's another story. But, and if you notice how I flow, I always try to get to the human being first before I even get to their product, because that's the most important aspect of
you show the fun side of us,
right?
Because I laughed when I seen the clip to open into Poppy J's show.
Yeah,
he says, I'm not gonna say I'm his best friend. I'm not gonna assume I'm his best friend or whatever it was he said. I started breaking down and just laughing.
Right.
But that's how you. It's fun, man. It's just, for me, it's fun to be able to do what we do.
Yeah, it is, and it's great to have wonderful people. Jay being one of them, to interview when they actually do get it, and they show the beauty that is who they are as the men and women they are. Yeah. And one of the creations that I loved having to do was when I got a chance to talk with Dietz, and he said, if you're going to do an intro, I want to have these types of elements in it. And so the elements that you will see.
Yeah, that's totally Dietz.
Yeah.
It is.
Yeah. So the elements that you see, basically he called me to actually to have all that in it. And when I saw it for the first time, I was like, yeah, that's him. That's him. So I think it's time for us. We should introduce the.
Yes, he's been here. He's been here
for a minute. We've been talking to Robert for a bit, but I think it was good that we did that. But this is normally around the time where we bring on this man right now.
Passionate.
Come after me. I'm a man. I'm 40.
Unflinching.
Let's go back to losing. Parking was easier.
Unrelenting.
They're not going to keep him off the field tonight.
Totally.
This one has a chance.
Deeds.
That's not just a murmur, that's a full-blown fibrillation.
And the man that joins us every Thursday morning around now, which is normally like 8:35 or 8:25 or now 8:45, the one, the only, the man in charge of this Fit Down Sports Show, Chris Dietz. How you doing, brother?
Doing all right. How are you guys doing?
Doing good,
Doing
man.
well,
Doing
doing
good.
well, brother.
So now college football is getting into their home stretch, and the 4 teams on top are Ohio, not in this order: Ohio State, Georgia, TCU, and oh, good Lord, I'm blanking.
In Michigan.
Michigan.
Thank you. So what I'm seeing is the CFP is trying to get Ohio State and Michigan to be sort of like a playoff elimination game when they do face off next weekend. Other than that, what are you seeing?
Well, let me start by asking a question. Wise, did you do your homework? Did you ever get a chance to check out Masters of the Universe there?
Oh no, I haven't. I've been sick actually. The past weekend I was not feeling well, so I didn't really do much.
If you're in the chat, and you were here last week, this will be a repeat for you. But Cole, you weren't here, and I want to bring this up because I was thinking about this at work.
Go ahead.
The new version of Masters of the Universe tells you exactly how the college football committee looks at these teams. And Cole, I'm going to ask you the same question I asked Wise last week. If you were going to make a Masters of the Universe TV show, if I were saying to you, Cole Johnson, produce this show for me, who would you focus the show on?
Oh, focus on whichever was the stars of the vehicle.
And if it was if we were doing a Masters of the Universe, you would focus it on which character?
Oh, which
He-Man,
character?
right?
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah, He-Man would be the central figure, right?
Yeah, that's what most people would say. That's what most people would do. However, Hollywood seemed to think it would be a good idea to kill him off and focus the show on Tila. That's what the college football playoff is doing, where they have Ohio State. Somehow, they want you to focus on Ohio State. Despite everything else that happens in the world, despite everything else that's going on, despite the Michigan Wolverines making the playoffs last year and being better than they were last year, despite Georgia winning the national championship and doing what Georgia's doing. Nope. Don't focus on them. Focus on Ohio State. Don't focus on TCU, who is just, basically the committee is saying, yeah, TCU is here. We'll tolerate them while they're here, but we're really hoping somebody does our job for us and gets them the hell out of here. They don't want to deal with TCU at all.
Oh no, they don't.
And
it's
ridiculous.
In fact, I think they would be beaming from ear to ear if Tennessee slides up in there and some Big 12 team knocks TCU off.
They're just hoping that they get that it works out so that they can get out of the way. I can't believe this. TCU has the best win of the weekend. When every analyst from 12 o'clock until 7 when the game kicked off, every analyst said, I think this is the week Texas is going to get TCU. I can't tell you how many times Greg McElroy said it during the broadcast of his game. And TCU goes out, and what do? They win the game.
They actually played the best defensive game of the year.
They get no love. They get no love from anybody. They don't move a spot. Nobody else falls. This is why the committee is broken. The committee doesn't change. When they make their first ranking, they go, all right, well, if somebody has to lose before we throw them out of their spot. And that's just not fair. That's just not fair. It's not the right way to do things. Because sometimes teams play better, teams play better opponents. TCU played a better opponent than anybody in the top 3 last week. Yet they don't move at all. Michigan has played every team that Ohio State has played, and they've beat them by 20 points, where I can literally sit here and tell you 3 games that Ohio State, I looked at that game and said, if the other team did X, Y, and Z, Ohio State would have lost. I don't have that with Michigan. So why Michigan's behind Ohio State, I have no idea. I can't. And the committee chairman has no explanation for that.
CJ Stroud.
Yeah, they have CJ Stroud. That's great. Michigan has Blake Corum, who is lapping the field in the Heisman Trophy race.
I agree with you.
He's lapping the field. Every game, this kid has 100 yards. Every game, he has 3 touchdowns.
I agree.
He's had a touchdown in the last 11 games straight, leading the leader in the NCAA. Mm-hmm. I don't understand. I don't understand the apathy. The apathy is we don't care.
No, I agree with you. I agree with you there. It's just sexy for a QB to be in the Heisman race rather than a running back. And when we were growing up, that was not really that much of a case. But we
had some great running backs, though. We watched some great college running backs. Man.
We did. So the way the sport is now, it is quarterback driven to the point where it's ridiculous. And so we're now invested in the story of CJ Stroud, and now it is set up that, in the big house, he got his butt handed to him. So now the big game will be in the horseshoe. This will be his highest moment this year, and we'll compile the story from last year to this year, starting with the Rose Bowl appearance after the big house loss. And we'll build that story from the Rose Bowl to when they beat Michigan in the big game at the horseshoe.
So what happens when Michigan wins?
And now what happens when Michigan wins, to me, like you said,
I said when Michigan wins, because I think Michigan's going to win.
I think they are too, from the standpoint of, to me, Ohio State doesn't seem to be, in my opinion, they don't seem to be physical enough to me.
I'm afraid of this Michigan team.
They don't seem to be physical enough, and Michigan seems to be physical and athletic enough.
Yes,
they're as athletic as Ohio
and
State.
That defense is
right.
Is playing some great defense.
Yeah,
I think Michigan, to me, scares me.
Yeah,
because they punch you in the mouth,
mm-hmm.
and they keep punching you in the mouth.
And keep punching you in the mouth.
And keep punching you in the mouth.
Mm-hmm.
And that's the key. That's the key. I mean, you look at the last 3. You could throw Indiana out of there, but you look at the last 3 games before that. You look at Northwestern. What did they do? They punched Ohio State in the mouth,
mm-hmm.
and Ohio State
didn't pull it.
Ohio State was able to skate by because Northwestern had absolutely no offense. Iowa punched Ohio State in the mouth, and they were able to skate by because Iowa has no offense. The difference between Michigan and Iowa and Northwestern is Michigan has an offense.
Mm-hmm. And they already proved it last year when these 2 teams played.
So it's
punishing offense in the pass rush.
And I think the pass rush is better than this year.
Mm-hmm. Go ahead, Deeds.
What's crazy and what I'm looking for. I mean, the committee right now has to be shaken in their boots, because if Georgia, if LSU beats Georgia,
now that's the I wanted to have. Mm-hmm.
If they beat LSU, if LSU wins that game,
mm-hmm.
you have Ohio State, Michigan, and whoever wins that game, if they lose in the Big Ten title game, if TCU loses, if USC happens to stumble in any of the 3 games that they have left,
the committee would
look who's sitting right there in the latest poll. You would have LSU, Georgia, Tennessee, and Alabama. All 4 from one conference. If that happens, all hell is going to break loose.
I'm saying the committee wouldn't know what to do. They wouldn't want that. They would try to find a way to not have it be an all SEC party.
It's not going to happen because I think personally Georgia is going to punch LSU in the face. I
think that's going to happen too. But this is college football.
That's true.
Just ask Lloyd Carr and Appalachian State. It's college football. We've seen bigger upsets.
True.
I mean,
I'm with you, Wise, though.
If it happens, I would die laughing.
If Tennessee dominated LSU, Georgia should be able to do that. I agree, but you never know.
I think that team is better than it was last year, and they won the national title.
I think they're deeper this year than last year, which that's scary.
That's really scary.
Well, they're better. Georgia's better this year because Brock Bowers is better this year.
Yeah,
Brock Bowers is unstoppable.
But that's still scary because that was a stacked team last year.
Yeah.
Ooh, man. That was a stacked team. I mean, most of the players that played on defense last year are NFL starters now. And I'm like, doggone. And this team actually might be better this year? Whew. Man.
But I mean, this is what they want. This is what they're trying to do. This is what the committee is trying to tell you. And we talked about it last week, Cole, while you were here. They're trying to tell you this is who we want there. They're not trying to say this is what the season's told us. This is what they're trying to say. This is who we want in. And that's not how this was supposed to be. That's not how this was supposed to be set up.
The power of suggestion that you see with this, obviously, yeah, no question. And the committee tries to be slick because it's like, okay, we'll appease you in saying, okay, well, this team, talking about TCU, all right, this team has no losses. Yes, we don't think that they really belong here, but since they have no losses and there's very few teams that have no losses, fine, they're in the top 4 right now. But in the back of their minds, they're hedging their bets on teams like Tennessee, and if there happen to be more 2-loss teams, Alabama, to sneak in the picture, no question.
I think TCU's
and they look at it.
Throw a monkey wrench in it. They're gonna go undefeated.
I'm praying for that. That's what I'm praying for.
They go undefeated.
I want them to throw a monkey wrench into this.
And they look at it and they try to say, oh well, the schedule. They just beat Texas, who is ranked. Yeah, they're in the bottom, but they're ranked. Yeah. They're ranked almost as. I mean, they were ranked 18th. Penn State is ranked 14th. That Ohio State's best win is against Penn State. Show me another team on Ohio State's schedule that has been ranked at all this year. There's not one. Yet TCU has beaten Kansas State, Texas, Oklahoma State, and Oklahoma. All were ranked when they beat them.
Yep.
And they want to say, well, the schedule's not as good. Guess what? The Big Ten schedule's not that good either. If you're not playing Michigan, Penn State, you're not playing Michigan or Penn State, your schedule's not that good if you play in the Big Ten.
The Big Ten is Ohio State, Penn State, and Michigan. Yeah. Everybody else, well.
And then they just rotate a 4th team.
Mm-hmm.
It could be Spartans. It could be the Spartans. It could be Iowa, Northwestern. I'm saying they rotate the other team, 4th team.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I mean, I was just looking at it before the show. No one wants to win the Big Ten West. No one. Every team in the Big Ten West is 4-3, and Illinois is right now above the group. But guess what? They get to travel to the Big House this week, so I'm guessing they're going to join the other team. They're going to join their brethren at 4-3, and. Well, and it's going to be a mess to find out who's going to go get their butt whipped by the East
by either Michigan, Ohio State in the Big Ten championship. Yeah,
and I'm on board with Wise. I think it's going to be I think it's going to be Michigan, even on the road.
Yeah, because I mean, look, a game like Michigan travels. You can wear out a team running and you can wear out a team pass rushing. If you, it doesn't matter where it is.
That's where you win the game.
Yeah, you win the game in the trenches. That's where you win the game.
Mm-hmm. So if you can dominate on both sides, if that offensive line could dominate, and then that defensive line could do what they're doing, you wear a team out.
Yeah,
and not to mention, even if Ohio State starts having a big day. Even if Ohio State starts out, red hot, like let's say they get the opening kickoff and they drive right down the field and score. Well, Michigan has the offense to keep Ohio State's offense on the sideline.
That's the key.
So yes,
they can counteract. All right, CJ Stroud is on point. He's having a good day. All right, well, if we keep the ball for 13 minutes. Well, that's less time that Ohio State has to put up big numbers. So
I have said this. I will continue to say this because this is the offensive lineman in me. The best defense in football, period,
is a great running game.
It's a great running game because especially if your opposing offense is explosive, the more they sit on the bench and the more you execute yourself, the better your team is. And Michigan is set up to do that. And we saw that last year when they were in the Big House against Ohio State, where in the second half, they leaned on Ohio State and leaned on some more and leaned on some more to the point where you actually got a chance to see the team in Ohio State look flustered in the fourth quarter.
But the thing is, Michigan still got some explosive plays on offense.
And they did in that game last year. And that's what makes it scary.
So they could grind it. But if they need to get a play that they need, an explosive play down the field or something, they got the studs.
That's what makes them scary. They can grind you down, and they have the athletes to go over top of you too. If you're stout enough to stop them or slow them down, at least. Yeah, no question. Ryan says, "Go ahead, Deets."
I was just gonna say. I don't know if you guys saw it because not many people did, but actually the biggest game of last week was ended at 3:00 in the morning Eastern time. When UCLA lost to Arizona, that was the end of the Pac-12. The Pac-12 season was over.
That was a huge L. Yeah,
it was over.
Question. That was a huge L.
Because you just ruined everything. USC gets to play UCLA today, but this week. But when they beat UCLA, what are we going to say? Well, Arizona just did the same thing, so it's not that big a deal.
Yeah, it's for nothing now, right?
Yeah.
Whereas if UCLA took care of business, that game this weekend, that would have meant a little bit of something. Yeah. Now it would have been a lot if USC didn't drop one to Utah, but totally. Oh, Ryan says, the Big 12 is part of the Power 5. Why wouldn't TCU be selected for the CFP if they run the table? They would be. That's not an issue. If they ran the table,
that's the problem. That's the problem, Ryan. That's the problem. Is that they have to run the table.
Yeah.
If they don't run the table, they have no shot.
Right. Yeah. Yep. And I'll say this to you: if TCU has one loss and Tennessee has one loss,
they're going with Tennessee.
Even if TCU plays in the Big 12 championship game, the committee would pick Tennessee because they'd say Tennessee has the more impressive victory.
Yeah.
And it's crazy that's how it is. And you would
and
think
they'll say they have the more impressive loss. They'll say, they lost to Georgia.
They have the more impressive victory of the two, and they have the most impressive loss if Georgia still ends up being number one in the country, and undefeated, right? So you have that, and the committee, I think, wants that. They want TCU to have that flaw and to have that flub because they don't really believe in that conference. And I can't say I hate that. I can't even say I disagree with it because I think with that conference, for the most part, being defense is optional, and TCU basically flipping on its head from time to time. I think that's what they feel, because the Big 12, they would want to have it be either Texas or Oklahoma.
They would feel that if TCU played a team that's played Georgia, a lot of people feel that defense of Georgia would just go wild because they've never faced.
Now, if TCU wore burnt orange and had white helmets and weren't purple and black,
the drool will come
they would be right now 2 or 3 in the poll.
100. The drool would come down their mouths in the NCAA committee.
If their name just stopped at the T, if it was just T, if it was just Texas, they would be ranked higher. But because it's Texas Christian University, and because they wear purple, and because they play in a smaller stadium, and it's not even that smaller of a stadium, it's just an on-campus stadium. And it's a true college atmosphere stadium.
When you play there.
And it's because it's Fort Worth instead of Austin.
The funny thing about that is, yes, it's Fort Worth. It is crazy. The funny thing is, yes, it's Fort Worth, but what is lost in all that is they only play 20 minutes away from one of the biggest metropolitan areas in the country.
Yeah, I understand. Yeah,
but they don't care. I mean, we could go all the way back to when Andy Dalton had an undefeated TCU team, and they said, "No, you're not good enough. You're not good enough to make the playoff."
Yeah,
doesn't
matter.
Wait, what?
Doesn't matter, right? And that goes to my point, reputation. And here's the thing, Rod. Michigan, they do make money for NCAA more so than TCU does. It's not that Michigan doesn't make money for them. It's there's programs that make more money for them than Michigan. And it's because of, I won't say Georgia. I say Georgia is aligned with the SEC, and they're now starting to become the power. It's sort of the SEC blood for them. Same with Tennessee, but a little less of a thing with them. But they're aligned with the SEC. But this would be Alabama for sure. Because in the last at least 7 years, if your program's name is in Alabama, Ohio State, or Clemson, the committee really could care less. They really could care less, because those three have moved the needle when it's come to college football the past 7 years. And
well, it's really interesting that you bring that up, Cole, because there's something different about the SEC and the Big Ten, and I'm talking about the fan bases.
Right.
SEC fan base will rally to the game as an SEC fan. You'll have Alabama fans going to turning into the national championship game because the SEC is involved.
Is represented.
They're more conference oriented. Michigan going to a national title game, Ohio State fans won't even watch the game.
No,
I know some Ohio State fans that won't watch.
I do too.
I know Michigan fans that when Ohio State's involved, they don't even watch the game. They don't care.
And I know them too.
They don't want to see. They don't want to. They won't turn it on until Alabama's beating Ohio State 42-0. They don't want to see Ohio State even have a chance to
succeed. Yeah, they don't want to see them succeed. You're right.
And that's the difference between the SEC and all these other conferences. Is SEC fan, yeah, they trash talk and they hate each other. I'm in a lot of SEC groups where guys that they troll each other and they do
hard.
it. But when push comes to shove and everything is gone, my team doesn't have to play anymore. SEC fan backs the SEC. And sometimes they tune in because they want to see, Alabama fan wants to see Georgia lose because, I'm sure if Tennessee got into the playoffs, Alabama fan would want to watch Tennessee lose. They want to watch Tennessee lose the game, but they want to watch the game.
Mm-hmm.
Big Ten, Big Ten fan is not that way. Big Ten fan is my team or bust.
You could not have hit the nail. That's the difference. You could not have hit the nail on the head any better. I live in SEC country, and I could tell you, Nashville here, I will see sweaters from Kentucky. Of course, Vanderbilt is in the city. Kentucky, Tennessee, Alabama, Vanderbilt, and even I've even seen some South Carolina and some Florida jerseys and sweaters. When it comes to those three letters, it doesn't matter what school it is that's in that area, they will rep their conference hard. And you were correct about that, my friend. And there's a lot of Michigan alum that moved to Nashville, and there's a lot of Ohio State alum that moved to Nashville too. And you're right about that too. If it's that other school, forget it. My school, I will watch and I will support. If it's that other school, no. Won't support it, won't bat an eye toward it.
And I totally respect it. That's why I've always said it's the best rivalry. Mm-hmm. It's the best rivalry in college football because they hate each other. They have hatred for each other.
They have legitimate hatred for each other.
Everybody always said, everybody in the SEC groups, they're always like, oh, but it's Auburn, Alabama. I'm like, no. You guys hate each other for that week. And then you guys coalesce and you guys come together when it counts.
It's like
Ohio State, Michigan, they never come together. They hate each other 365 days a year.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I think of Alabama and Auburn as like brothers. It's like, they're the ones, they're the ones they can mess each other up. But if someone else from outside of what they do come into the fray, they will both tag team and jump on them. That is how I regard Alabama and Auburn.
Yeah, they'll be fighting each other. They'll be fighting each other.
I gotta tell this story though.
And then all of a sudden, somebody else will jump in, and it will stop being a fight between them two. The other two will just turn on the guy who just came in.
Hold on, I got a story to tell you. I got a story to tell.
Go ahead, Wise.
So y'all know I work in a casino. I'm a dealer,
right?
And so on the craps table, on one side, I had an Ohio State fan. He had the Ohio State shirt on, all that. Mm-hmm. And on the other side, I had a Michigan fan, Michigan shirt, all that.
Mm-hmm.
And that was the first time I actually seen them root for each other because when they rolled the dice, they were betting bets. So that's the only time you would see an Ohio State fan root for a Michigan fan. It was so funny because then that's what they said. They're like, I would never root for, but this is money involved there. So yeah, keep rolling good, brother. Keep rolling good.
And when there's money on the table, it changes a lot. Changes
a lot. He was like, yo, listen.
By the way, Cole, being in Nashville, we got to give props to Vanderbilt for breaking their winless streak in the SEC. They finally win an SEC game. I think it was 22 in a row.
Yeah. And I
forgot finally get it done. And thanks to Kentucky for
and I forgot how many on the road they've lost consecutively before then too, because this was a road victory. Because I think it was like 4 years, I think, since they last won a road SEC game. But and poor Kentucky. They really thought the talk around this area about Kentucky football was they thought this was going to be the year that they were going to actually contend for a New Year's Six bowl game because they thought they had the talent to do it. But then when they got through the SEC schedule, not so much, especially when Tennessee took it to the woodshed. And now they punctuate the end of this lost season with an L at home to Vanderbilt, which that basically is like a homecoming game for them for the most part.
And that's going to go, that's going to go down. That's not going to go away because it's going to be the only win Vanderbilt has. And everybody will go, oh, remember when Vanderbilt beat Kentucky? Like that, Kentucky's going to be the butt end of that joke for because Vanderbilt's not going to win another game for another 22 games. Everybody's going to go, remember when they played Kentucky? That's just for all the hopes that Kentucky had. It's all gone down the drain.
And it's funny. Vanderbilt, the program really could care less if they are successful on the field. They're so happy about being the Harvard and Yale of the SEC. They're just like, all right, we know this is a money grab that we just send teams out onto the field to get trials. We know this.
Yeah, and then springtime comes and they throw out their three stud pitchers that are going to be 1, 2, and 3 in the major league draft, and they're like, now who's talking? Because that's why Vanderbilt's in the SEC. Vanderbilt's in the SEC for 2 reasons: baseball and academics.
Yeah, I was about to say.
Bring up that SEC GPA and win baseball national champions.
I was about to say baseball. That's a totally different story. That's a totally different story.
They just be pouring them studs out, boy.
Yeah, they reload in baseball. They just reload.
Major League Baseball be like, yo, that's our farm system right there.
They straight up reload.
I mean, you go back to the days of David Price. David Price pitching for Vanderbilt. They had that kid last year that the Mets drafted that was like 6'8", 240, throwing 97-mile-an-hour sliders. I was like, wait, what?
That's sick.
No, they stay reloaded. But they've had like the last few years, all they've been producing is major league pitchers.
But that's why they don't care. That's why Vanderbilt doesn't. They don't care about football. They cared about it when they had Jay Cutler, and that was about it.
Oh, so it seems like it's you and me, Deets.
Awesome. So what? So the Giants pulled that out against you. How are you feeling it in that game against Houston? Give me your honest.
I don't know. I wasn't really concerned. Because I know we're a second half team. Honestly, we played much better for some reason in the second half. I don't get it, man. We need to really pick that up.
I didn't know what I mean. Houston, and now that Cole is gone, I wish Cole would be here to answer why they're allergic to the end zone. They got down, they drove the ball to the 10-yard line 3 straight times, chance to win the game. One, the running back fumbles. Then they throw an interception. Then they have like 3 penalties in a row, and all of a sudden it's 3rd and 35. And I'm like, if you just scored on one of those, you probably have a chance. You have a chance to win the game at the end. But because they couldn't score on any one of those, they drove the ball all the way down the field, and it was crazy.
No, listen, I couldn't tell you why. I don't know what's wrong with Houston, but I know my Giants. They need to work on some passing stuff, but I'm excited, man. I'm happy for where. Listen, I had been touting the Jets all season. The Giants have really surprised me, even though I did enjoy the pickup that they did with Thibodeau and getting Neal. Was it who they drafted this year? Neal Thomas? Who was it?
They drafted the kid from Alabama, O'Neal.
Neal, right? Yeah.
Yeah, they got Thomas last year, the tackle from Georgia, and then they got the tackle from Alabama this year, and then they took Thibodeau with the second with the second pick that they had.
So I was happy. It was good with that. And listen, they're just playing some good football. That defense, Wink has them playing pretty well.
Speaking of the draft, I'm gonna put you on the spot here. I'm gonna put you on the spot here, Wise. As a Giants fan, I'm gonna put you in the spot of general manager.
Yeah.
What do you do with Daniel Jones after? Because Daniel Jones is in the last year of his rookie contract.
I re-signed Daniel Jones. I re-signed Saquon and I re-signed Daniel Jones. Why not sign Daniel Jones? He's been. It isn't his fault that his receivers suck. He was building chemistry with Danny Bellinger. No,
but that's the thing though. I think you could sign Daniel Jones for next year, but the year after that you have Saquon coming up. Then you're going to have Dexter Lawrence. Then you're going to have Dexter Lawrence come up.
They didn't extend Saquon. They didn't extend Saquon either. So
I know that's
so you have to re-sign. You have to re-sign Saquon, and you definitely have to.
That's why
sign Daniel Jones. I don't know if you give Daniel Jones, you give him another prove it year, because to me, I think he's only going to improve under Daboll.
I'll tell you right now, Andrew, he's not signing a 1-year deal. Daniel Jones is not taking a 1-year flyer.
But nobody.
I'll tell you that right now. If he does, his agent is absolutely trying to undermine him. He's gonna go. That's the difference. Is what's the market gonna be?
There is no market for Daniel Jones. Tell me what team you really think is going to go after Daniel Jones.
And he'll be franchise tagged. Jeez, franchise. What's the franchise tag going to be for him? $26 million.
So do you want to sign him? Give him that sign?
So I think Brian's right. I think they will. I think they will franchise tag him. But is this going to? My question going forward, is this going to turn into a Kirk Cousins situation where you just keep going until it gets absolutely astronomical with the franchise tag?
I feel that if he shows that he can show improvement under another year of Daboll, then he deserves that. Because the Giant, listen, Daniel Jones has the talent. He has the grit. You can see him. You see that he'll play while he's hurt, whatever. It's just if he can overcome some of the mental mistakes he makes, but he's got athletic ability. He has the arm. It's not like he doesn't have an arm. It's not like he's not a mobile quarterback, because he's shown he's a mobile quarterback. It's can he grow under Daboll? Can he take that next step? And I think he can.
He's an overall good dude.
I think he can.
I mean, Daniel Jones
as a person, he's not. He's a leader of men. Seriously, that team, his teammates love him. Whatever, regardless of what we think of him or what his teammates love, they see that he's a grinder. He's a horse. So they go to battle for Daniel Jones. It's just that.
Well, I can tell you right now, if I were in Daniel Jones's shoes right now, after every win, I would be sitting there going, "Hey, all of y'all on ESPN that laughed at me when I got drafted, here's to you guys." And I'd be sticking it to them every single time, because he outlasted everybody in that draft, and they literally had people falling off the set laughing at the fact that he was drafted 8th overall or whatever he was drafted, and he's proving himself to be better than anybody else that was taken in that draft. And
I think he has a coach that knows,
and that's why I said he's a good. That's why I said he's a much better dude than I was, because I would be rubbing that in everybody's face. The way they treated him was so. I remember was live during the draft, and I said, "What are these people doing? This is the best year. This is the best day of this kid's life, and you're sitting there laughing at it. This is not right. It's horrible. You guys should be ashamed of yourselves." And now to see him coming out like this, I would love it if he came out and was like, "Hey y'all, look what I did." But he's too good of a guy. He's not a troll like me.
He's
not on my level.
No, he's a humble guy. He's definitely a good guy. And for me, I don't call him Danny Dimes. But he's earning that name more and more.
No, he's getting further away from that nickname. That somebody said that on my show. Somebody said that on my show 2 years ago, and I said no. That's the worst nickname of all time. We're not calling him that.
I don't call him that. I call him Danny Jones because that name until he really shows me he can throw a dime is to me is no, but he's earning that. He's showing me he can manage the game, that he's not going to be the reason we lose these games. And the dude, again, Dable is putting him in the right places. When you have a coach that knows to coach up your abilities, because he hasn't had a coach. And the whole time he's been with the Giants, he hasn't had a head coach. Joe Judge, Pat Shermer. Not names that
he hasn't had a coach. He hasn't had a coach that understood who he is. I mean, I said this on the show a couple weeks ago when I was talking about the Giants. The Giants tried to bring people in to reinvent the wheel. We're going to be this kind of offense. We're going to be a new age kind of offense. They kept bringing these people in that kept saying we're going to retool and we're going to figure out how to throw the ball 50 times and then they bring Brian Dable in and look what happens.
That's Giants
Again,
football.
Tried and true method are tried and true for a reason.
Run the ball. And I
they
get
run
it.
The ball, they play defense, and they let Daniel Jones make the plays when he has to.
He has to, yes. And that's Giants football. That's always been Giants football. You run the rock, play some great defense, and you let your quarterback make the plays that he needs to make. Not be a superstar, not try to go out and pass 50 times. I'm happy with Daniel Jones passing 20, 25 times. I'm good with that. I need a full load of Saquon. I need a full load of Daniel Jones even doing those bootlegs. Whatever it is, man. I think Dable is just putting him in the right position at the right time.
I think so too, but like I said, I think with every win, with everything that goes on, and celebrate the wins while you get them. But down the road, this is got his agent is sitting there licking his chops, like, all right, you want to sign him for 3 years? All right, you're going to give him 3 years, $24 million a year, and then I think the Giants are going to look at him and be like, are you out of your mind? Like, we have all these other guys that we have to sign.
That's the $24 million a year is cheap. That's cheap.
We can't pay whatever the market. I don't even know what the quarterback market is. And yes, Cool McCain, you are still 8-1, but that one got ugly Monday night.
Yeah, it did. It did. Yes, but actually, I have to head out. It was great.
Awesome.
Always great talking with you, Deets, man. Pleasure.
Yeah, man. Hey, like you said at the beginning of the show, and I gotta say it back to you. Keep doing what you're doing, man. I love your show. I come home from work at 5 o'clock in the morning and turn it on. I really wish I could be there for some of these shows because I work every night and everybody's doing their shows at night. So it's like I'm like, oh man, wish I could be in the chat live. But yeah, I've been checking all you guys out after, and everybody's doing awesome things. So keep on keeping on, and we'll keep doing it.
Definitely. So shout out to everybody in the chat, man. Sick Diggy, Cool McCain, V Lock, Andrew, Ryan, everybody, man. We love you guys. Cool, Sick. Cole had to go to a meeting. And I have to actually head out to go to my other job. I'm actually working at the family shop today, so.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah.
Well, so everybody, as they always say, reach for your dreams. I'm just gonna say, keep on doing what you're doing.
Yeah, man. Everybody out there is doing some great things, so keep doing that. Keep doing all that great work y'all doing out there, guys. Y'all doing Cool McCain with his 30-minute shows. Ryan with all the great programming he's doing.
Oh, and programming note, I will have to talk to Snowman because obviously next Thursday is Thanksgiving. Yeah. So I may come on Wednesday because I have a bronsexual confession to get out there. So I will have to talk to Snowman about that, but next week, if he lets me come on Wednesday, I will come on Wednesday, and I have a bronsexual confession ready to go.
Oh, okay. Yeah, let him know. But I actually won't be here next Thursday. The job asked me if I wanted to come into work, and it's holiday pay, and that's
holiday pay. Take that while you can get it.
It's like $33 an hour, and I'm like, okay.
How is the casino usually on Thanksgiving? I would imagine. I mean, the casino's always.
Well, they asked me to come in as a supervisor, but that's one of our busiest days. That's one of that evening. That's one of our busiest days because it slows down usually for the winter because I'm up in the mountains, so the snow and all that. But it's one of our busiest days. Yeah.
Well, good luck with that. If I don't see you, have a great Thanksgiving, and
same to you, brother.
I'd say good luck to your team on Thanksgiving, but I don't mean it.
I know you don't, but it's okay.
I hope it's a good game, but I'm pulling for my boys that day.
It's not like we haven't gone into Dallas and beat Dallas before.
Yeah,
I don't think we can. I think we can.
Look at what Dallas did this weekend. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter if we're up 14 points. We can still find a way to lose a game. So
yes, to the Packers. Yes, it is.
Yes, exactly.
But all right, man. Thanks everybody for tuning in. Love you guys. Appreciate everything you guys do out there. I'm your boy WIC.
8 o'clock tonight. Fit Down Sports Show. Check us out and. Cool. You're always welcome to come on the show and talk some Eagles. Get some Eagles talk on the show.
All right. Yeah, I heard that. All right. So I'm out, man. Peace out, everybody.
Yep.
Thank you for tuning in to Snowman in the Morning with Cole Johnson, the hottest of hot takes and the coldest of cold, hard facts.